Shalom. This is part 2. So we're going to go to Isaiah 34 and I'm going to reread it 34 and 4. And it says, "The heavens above will melt away and disappear like a rolled up scroll. The stars will fall from the sky like withered leaves from a grapevine or shriveled figs from a fig tree. Like the heavens above will melt away and disappear like a rolled up scroll. The thermonuclear bombs that hit this place, the smoke is going to raise up into the sky, and it's going to roll up into the sky like a scroll would roll up. And it says the stars will fall from the sky, meaning the missiles will fall from the sky like withered leaves from a grapevine. Like when leaves are ready to fall from the tree, they just drop, and that's how the bombs are going to drop. And it says, or shriveled figs from a fig tree, when the figs are nice and ripe, and or not even nice and ripe, when they're at their weakest, they'll fall because they're dead at that point. And it says, and when my sword has finished its work in the heavens, it will fall upon Edom, the nation I have marked for destruction, which is the so-called white man's nation, Babylon the Great, aka America. Isaiah 34 and 6, it says, the sword of Yahweh is drenched with blood and covered with fat, with the blood of lambs and goats, meaning these people are going to be sacrificed, with the fat of rams prepared for sacrifice. Yes, Yahweh will offer a sacrifice in the city of Basra, representing Esau, Edom, the capital. And it says he will make a mighty slaughter in Edom, right? Even men as strong as wild oxen will die, the young men alongside the veterans. The land will be soaked with blood and the soil enriched with fat, right? Because there's going to be many people who are going to die. It's just going to be boom, gone. Isaiah 34 and 8, and it says, For it is the day of Yahweh's revenge, the year when Edom will be paid back for all it did to Israel, because Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, has done so much to our people, Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, to where they actually, I believe they actually think that they'll get away with all of this wickedness they've done. But that's which surely makes them the wicked in the first place. Like they're not even seeking any type of consequence for the damage they have done, even while knowing, because the elect of these people know who we are, not the average Joe, not the average Edomite, no, but the higher ups of them, their nobles, know who we are. And even then, and they're the ones who's calling the shots on our destruction. They've been calling the shots on destroying us. So even with them knowing who we are, and they know what's going to happen as well. That's why they've been preparing a space force and all of this other shit. NASA then had a space force and all that. They know who we are. So the fact that they even doing this and still pursuing, they gonna come down with great wrath, as in Revelations 12 and 12 says, because they know they have but a short time. But they're gonna actually try to fight against Yahweh Shai. That's how you know, like, they were specifically made to be the wicked. So when Hakai and Hassad is saying that these people are going to be beamed up with us in the chariots, it's like, well, how dare you say this? Like, did you forget what these people did? These people castrated your men, cut their I don't even know if I can say this on YouTube, but, cut their genitals off, their tennis balls, their tennis racket, right? They did they did so much stuff. They cut the stomachs of our women, C-sectioned, no anesthesia, no anesthetics, none of that. They fed our babies to alligators. They how do you say this? They roped one end to one horse of your body, and they roped the other end and attached the rope to your other arm of your body, and had the horse rip you apart. They did so much craziness. They whipped you like crazy, Jake, out there. They really did overboard. They really went overboard, Jake. And y'all have the nerve to sit up here and say that these people are gonna be saved along with us. How dare you say some shit like that? So you're basically saying that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is not a just God. Like he's not gonna bring us justice when the scriptures say that he's gonna bring us justice. Right? He's gonna free us of our oppressors. And I'm about to read that. This verse is about to come up in here. And it says, Isaiah 34:10, it says, the judgment on Edom will never end. The smoke of its burning will rise forever. The land will lie deserted from generation to generation. Right? It says, no one will live there anymore. Isaiah 63:1, right? It says, who is this who comes from Edom, from the city of Basra, with his clothing stained red? Who is this in royal robes, marching in his great strength? It is I, Yahweh Shai, really, announcing your salvation. It is I, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who has the power to save, because he is coming to save his people. And in Isaiah 63:2, and it says, why are your clothes so red, as if you have been treading out grapes? And it says, I've been treading the winepress alone. No one was there to help me. In my anger I have trampled my enemies as if they were grapes. In my fury I have trampled my foes. Their blood has stained my clothes, right? Isaiah 63:4, it says, for the time has come to me to avenge my people, to ransom them from their oppressors. Now, Hakkad and Hassad, how are you all saying that these people are going to save us when they were they still are our oppressors? The Lord said he's coming to avenge his people, to take us from our oppressors, because we are ransomed. We are being held ransom. So he got to come and get us. This is the whole reason for a savior. Like, what's the use for a savior if he's not going to come and save and deliver us from what? What is he coming to deliver us from then? He's coming to deliver us from our oppressors. And the wickedness that they've created, the other nations are turning against them, and Yahweh, Bahashem, really Yahweh, is allowing the other nations to get fed up with Babylon the Great. They're drinking of the cup of Babylon the Great, and now the nations are mad because they've seen that all these philosophies and ideologies and these ways of living that Babylon the Great have pushed upon them has destroyed their countries, and it's causing destruction towards their countries. So they getting fed up with this shit. So yeah, they're gonna send those missiles over here, and they're going to blow this bitch to smithereens. Primarily Russia. Right? Magog. So it says Isaiah 63:5. And it says, I was amazed to see that no one intervened to help the oppressed. Because really think about it. Nobody came and stopped this. This is why all of the other nations have to go down too. It's because nobody intervened with these people doing what they did to us. So the fact that you think these other nations, and that's something was wrong with the 2/3 of Jake, they thinking that these other nations can be saved, and that's why they have a problem with what we've been telling them. But all we saying is with the scriptures, they truly have a problem with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Right? And it says, I was amazed to see that no one intervened to help the oppressed. So I myself stepped in to save them with my strong arm, and my wrath sustained me. Right? Barakatah Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakodash. It says, I crushed the nations in my anger and made them stagger and fall to the ground, spilling their blood upon the earth, because that's what they did to us. Right? So, y'all, this is part 2. And then I'm about to go to part 3, all right? All right.